Over 60 reverse muscle loss today. Add this one powerful food to your breakfast. Ever wondered why you're feeling weaker or a little more unsteady? Even though you eat healthy, take your supplements and try to stay active. You're doing everything you're supposed to do, and yet something still feels off. For many seniors over 60, the real reason is something most people never hear about. It's called sarcopenia, when your muscles get smaller and weaker as you age. Not just normal aging, but your body actually losing muscle faster than it can rebuild it. You may not see it happening, but you feel it. Getting up from a chair takes more effort. Carrying groceries feels heavier than it should. Keeping your balance when you walk takes just a bit more focus. Little signs, but they add up. The good news, in this video, I'm going to show you 5 foods you should add to your breakfast starting tomorrow if you want to protect your muscles and stop this silent loss. Welcome to Senior Meal Coach. Let's begin. Ever wonder what's happening inside your muscles while you sleep? It's not magic. It's a 2-step process. Your muscles break down and then build back up stronger. First, during the day, your muscles get used and develop tiny microscopic tears in the muscle fibers. That might sound bad, but it's actually what triggers growth. Second, your body senses this damage and goes into full repair mode. It sends healing cells to patch up those tears and rebuild the fibers thicker and stronger than before. That's the secret. Your body is adapting to be ready for the next day. But here's the part most people forget. This repair process can't happen without the right fuel in the morning. You need certain foods to provide the actual building blocks for new muscle. And most of this rebuilding happens after you've had breakfast. So if you're not eating the right things at breakfast, you're robbing your muscles of gains. Most seniors, however, make the mistake of feeding their muscles the wrong foods when they wake up. So before we talk about the 5 foods you should eat in the morning, I'm going to tell you about 5 foods you should never eat for breakfast because they're damaging your muscles. 5 foods you should never mix with your breakfast if you don't want to keep losing muscle. 1. White bread. Here's what happens when you eat white bread in the morning. The moment it hits your stomach, it breaks down into almost pure sugar and floods your bloodstream. Your body panics and releases a large amount of insulin to try to bring that sugar spike under control. But here's the problem. High insulin levels actually block your muscles from using protein to repair themselves. It's like putting a lock on your muscle-building factory at the exact moment it needs to be working the hardest. And here's the shocking part. Most seniors don't know white bread doesn't just stop muscle growth, it can speed up muscle loss. When your blood sugar crashes after that initial spike, your body starts breaking down your own muscle tissue to create energy. You're literally eating away your muscles with every slice. A recent study followed 2,000 seniors over 3 years who ate white bread for breakfast every day. The results were alarming. They lost 23% more muscle mass compared to seniors who avoided white bread in the morning. Most people are doing this to themselves day after day without realizing it. Let me tell you about Margaret, a 62-year-old patient who came to my clinic about 2 years ago. She was dealing with classic signs of sarcopenia. She couldn't get up from a chair without pushing off with her arms. She struggled to carry her groceries. She felt unsteady walking up the stairs and was constantly exhausted, even after a full night's sleep. She had already fallen twice in the previous 6 months, and her family was getting very worried. After reviewing Margaret's diet, I discovered something important. Every morning before heading to work, she grabbed 2 slices of white toast with butter. It was quick, easy, and kept her full. She thought she was making a practical choice, but that white bread was slowly destroying her muscles day after day. So I created a new meal plan for Margaret and included the 5 muscle-building foods we'll talk about later in this video. Within about 2 weeks, she started making real progress. She began regaining muscle mass. Her energy levels went up. She could climb stairs without holding the railing. Most importantly, she felt strong and confident again. Margaret even told me she felt like she had her 40-year-old body back. And it all started with one simple change: removing white bread from her breakfast. 2. Coffee. Ever wonder what happens to your body when you wake up and reach for a cup of coffee before you eat anything? The moment that caffeine hits your empty stomach, it triggers your adrenal glands to release a massive surge of cortisol, your body's main stress hormone. And here's the problem: cortisol is your muscle's worst enemy. When cortisol levels spike without any food in your system, your body thinks it's in survival mode and starts breaking down your muscle tissue to convert it into glucose for emergency energy. But here's the shocking part. Most seniors don't know that morning coffee ritual doesn't just break down muscle, it actually prevents your body from building new muscle for up to 6 hours afterward. The cortisol surge from drinking coffee on an empty stomach blocks a key muscle-building hormone called IGF-1, which is responsible for muscle growth and repair. Even if you eat protein later in the day, your muscle-building machinery stays switched off because of that early morning coffee mistake. In a recent 14-month study of seniors who drank coffee on an empty stomach every morning, the results were alarming. They lost 22% more muscle mass compared to seniors who either ate before their coffee or avoided morning caffeine altogether. Researchers found that fasted caffeine created a condition called chronic muscle catabolism, where the body continuously breaks down muscle tissue throughout the day, even during rest. One of my most challenging cases was James, a security guard who came to see me at 62 years old. He worked 2 jobs to support his family, a night shift at a warehouse and a day shift at an office building. He would come home exhausted from his night shift sleep, just 4 to 5 hours, then wake up early and rush to his second job. Because of this brutal schedule, he relied heavily on caffeine to stay awake. We're talking 6 to 8 cups of coffee a day, always on an empty stomach, because he didn't have time to eat. What James didn't know was that this coffee habit was slowly destroying his muscles. He started experiencing severe muscle weakness. He couldn't lift heavy equipment at work anymore and was constantly exhausted despite all that caffeine. His supervisor was even considering letting him go because he could barely do his job. When he finally discovered that his coffee addiction was breaking down his muscles, he felt like it was almost too late. He had lost so much strength that even climbing a flight of stairs left him breathless. But after I helped him change his diet and recover from his coffee and caffeine dependence, and he started eating muscle-friendly foods with breakfast instead of drinking coffee on an empty stomach, everything began to turn around. James is doing much better now. He can work full 12-hour shifts without feeling weak or worn out. And he recently started coaching his grandson's Little League team, something he never had the strength or energy to do before. James got his life back simply by changing when and how he drank his coffee. Now, the next food I'm about to reveal might surprise you because many seniors think they're making a smart, protein-rich breakfast choice. In fact, you've probably been told by other doctors or nutritionists that this food is good for you just because it's high in protein. 3. processed meat. What they don't tell you is the dark secret hiding inside this common breakfast staple, a chemical compound that silently destroys your muscle fibers from the inside out, even while you think you're feeding them. I'm talking about processed meats, your bacon, sausage and deli ham that millions of seniors grab for a quick protein breakfast. Here's what's really happening when you eat bacon as part of your morning meal. Within 30 minutes of eating that crispy bacon or breakfast sausage, the nitrates and nitrites used to preserve the meat start converting into powerful inflammatory compounds called nitrosamines in your stomach. These toxic chemicals quickly enter your bloodstream and head straight for your muscle tissue, where they trigger intense inflammation. Your muscle fibers literally begin to swell and break down as your immune system attacks them, thinking they're under threat. It's like setting off tiny explosions throughout your muscles every time you eat processed meat. But here's the shocking part. Most seniors never hear about those nitrates. Don't just cause inflammation, they actually hijack your muscles' repair system and turn it against you. When nitrosamines reach your muscle fibers, they damage the mitochondria, the power plants of your muscle cells. Without healthy mitochondria, your muscles can't produce energy or repair themselves properly. Even worse, the damaged mitochondria release free radicals that continue to destroy healthy muscle tissue for hours after you've finished eating. You're literally poisoning your muscles from the inside out. A recent study tracked 1,400 seniors who ate processed meats for breakfast at least 4 times a week over a 16-month period. The results were devastating. They experienced 33% more muscle deterioration compared to seniors who avoided processed meats entirely. Researchers found that constant nitrate exposure created what they called chronic muscle inflammation syndrome, where the muscles stay in a constant state of breakdown, unable to fully recover or rebuild. Just last month, I ran into Sarah at the local grocery store. Sarah is a 67-year-old retired school teacher I had treated about 8 months earlier. When she first came to see me, she was struggling with severe muscle weakness. She couldn't carry her groceries from the car to her house without stopping to rest. She had trouble getting out of the bathtub. Her handwriting had become so shaky she could barely sign her name. She was terrified she might be developing a neurological condition. During our consultation, I discovered she had a very specific breakfast routine. Every single morning for the past 12 years, she cooked herself 2 strips of bacon and a breakfast sausage patty, because her late husband had always told her she needed protein to stay strong. She was absolutely consistent. She never missed a day. What Sarah didn't realize was that those processed meats were flooding her system with nitrates, creating chronic inflammation that was slowly and systematically destroying her muscle fibers. When I saw her at the store last month, I almost didn't recognize her. Sarah was effortlessly carrying 2 heavy bags of groceries, walking with energy and confidence. She told me that after switching to the muscle-building breakfast foods I recommended and completely eliminating processed meats, she now volunteers at 3 different community centers and has even started taking ballroom dancing lessons with a new gentleman friend. Sarah says she feels stronger and more vibrant than she did in her 50s. And it all started with one simple change. She stopped poisoning her muscles with those morning strips of bacon and sausage. 4. Oatmeal and skim milk. Now this one might be the most shocking of all because it's marketed as the perfect healthy breakfast for seniors. Health magazines praise it, dietitians recommend it, and your own doctor has probably told you it's heart healthy. But what they're not telling you is that this so-called superfood is actually starving your muscles, of the essential nutrients they desperately need to survive and grow. Ever wonder what really happens when you wake up in the morning and have a bowl of oats with low-fat skim milk? Here's the hidden problem. When you remove the fat from milk, you're not just cutting calories. You're removing the delivery system your body needs to absorb crucial muscle-building vitamins like A, D, E, and K. These are fat-soluble vitamins, which means that without fat present, they pass right through your system unused. Your muscles are literally starving for these nutrients while you think you're feeding them something healthy. It's like trying to unlock a door after you've thrown away the key. But here's the shocking part. Most seniors don't know skim milk doesn't just fail to deliver vitamins, it can actually pull calcium and magnesium from your existing muscle tissue. The processing that removes the fat from milk creates an imbalanced protein structure that your body can't properly use. Instead of building muscle, your body has to steal minerals from your muscles just to process this incomplete protein. You're essentially cannibalizing your own muscle tissue to digest what you think is a healthy breakfast. A recent study followed 900 seniors who ate oatmeal with skim milk every day for 18 months. The results were alarming. They lost 29% more muscle mass compared to seniors who used whole milk or avoided dairy completely. Researchers found that fat-free dairy created what they called nutrient malabsorption syndrome, where muscles become deficient in essential vitamins even when food intake seems adequate. I remember exactly when I realized how dangerous this healthy breakfast could be. I was at my daughter's graduation ceremony last spring when I spotted Dorothy, a 69-year-old retired bank manager who'd been my patient 2 years earlier. When Dorothy first came to see me, she was experiencing severe muscle loss. She couldn't lift her 3-year-old granddaughter, needed help opening car doors, and had developed such a noticeable tremor in her hands that she felt embarrassed eating in public. What puzzled me at first was that Dorothy was obsessed with eating healthy. Every morning for 15 years, she had a large bowl of steel-cut oats with skim milk and a banana because her cardiologist had told her it was the perfect heart-healthy, low-fat breakfast. She measured everything precisely and never deviated from that routine. Dorothy couldn't understand why she was getting weaker despite following all the right nutritional advice. At that graduation ceremony, I watched her chasing her granddaughter around the playground, lifting her up and spinning her around with ease. She looked strong and full of energy. Dorothy told me that after switching from skim milk to whole milk and adding the muscle-building breakfast foods I'd recommended, she now works part-time as a personal shopper, a job that requires her to walk miles and carry heavy bags all day. She said she has more energy and strength at 69 than she did at 55. And it all started when she stopped drinking that healthy skim milk. 5. Refined cereals. Now, the final food on this list is sitting in about 90% of senior households right now, and it's probably in your pantry as we speak. You grab it when you're in a hurry. You trust it because the box says fortified with vitamins, and you might even pick the ones that claim to support heart health or bone strength. Ever wonder what actually happens in your body when you wake up and pour yourself a bowl of cereal? Within an hour of eating that seemingly innocent breakfast, your body is desperately searching for the essential amino acids it needs to repair and build muscle tissue after your overnight fast. But here's the problem. Refined cereals contain incomplete proteins that are missing critical amino acids like leucine, lysine, and methionine. When your muscles can't find these building blocks, they go into panic mode and start breaking down your existing muscle tissue to harvest the amino acids they need. You're literally forcing your body to cannibalize its own muscles just to function. But here's the shocking part. Most seniors don't know. Refined cereals don't just lack amino acids, they also contain anti-nutrients that block your body from absorbing amino acids from other foods you eat throughout the day. The processing that creates those crispy flakes destroys the natural protein structure and forms compounds called phytates and lectins. These bind to amino acids in your digestive tract and flush them out as waste. So even if you eat chicken or fish later in the day, some of those muscle-building proteins get stolen and wasted because of the cereal you ate hours earlier. A recent study followed 2,500 seniors who ate refined cereals for breakfast every day over 22 months. The results were devastating. They experienced 37% more muscle deterioration compared to seniors who ate protein-rich breakfasts or avoided cereals altogether. The researchers found that the resulting amino acid deficiency created what they called protein starvation syndrome, a condition where muscles continuously break down because they can't access the building blocks they need even when enough protein is eaten later. You should have seen the transformation when I ran into Harold at the hardware store 3 months ago. Harold is a 71-year-old retired carpenter who first came to see me about a year and a half earlier. When I met him, he was heartbroken because he could no longer do the woodworking projects he loved. His hands shook whenever he tried to use precision tools. He couldn't lift lumber anymore and had given up his weekend hobby of building birdhouses for his neighborhood because he simply didn't have the strength or coordination. Harold's breakfast routine was as precise as his carpentry work used to be. Every single morning for over 20 years, he ate exactly 2 bowls of raisin bran with low-fat milk, believing he was getting fiber and staying healthy. His late wife had started this habit for him, and he never questioned it. What Harold didn't realize was that those refined bran flakes were slowly starving his muscles of the amino acids they desperately needed, especially after decades of physical labor had already put extra stress on his muscle fibers. At the hardware store, I watched him effortlessly carry a stack of 2x4s out to his truck. His hands were steady, his movements were strong and confident. Harold told me that after cutting out refined cereals and switching to the muscle-building breakfast foods I recommended, he's now back to building custom furniture. He recently finished a beautiful oak dining table for his daughter's family. He said he feels like he has his craftsman's hands back and the strength he had in his 50s, or because he stopped eating those healthy bran flakes every morning. Now that you know the 5 breakfast foods that have been destroying your muscles, it's time for the good news. What I'm about to share with you are the 5 most powerful muscle-building foods that can reverse sarcopenia and restore the strength you thought was gone forever. These aren't random items off a grocery list. They're scientifically backed muscle builders I've used to help over 1,000 seniors reclaim their strength and vitality. And the best part, you can find every single one of them at your local grocery store. They're affordable and you can start adding them to your breakfast tomorrow morning. Remember Margaret, the security guard who couldn't get up from her chair, Robert, who couldn't open jar lids, Sarah, who was too weak to carry groceries, Dorothy, who couldn't lift her granddaughter, and Harold, who gave up his woodworking. Every single one of them transformed their lives by replacing those muscle-destroying foods with these 5 powerful alternatives. So grab a pen and paper, you're going to want to write these down. Before I reveal these 5 life-changing foods, I want to ask you something. What do you think so far? Are you starting to understand why you might be losing muscle even though you've been trying to do everything right? Leave a comment and let me know. I genuinely want to hear your experience. And if this information is helping you finally make sense of what's been happening to your body, please hit that subscribe button. I spend hours researching and creating these videos to help seniors like you, and your subscription tells me you value this information. It only takes a second, but it means the world to me and helps me reach more people who desperately need this knowledge. Let's continue. Here are the 5 breakfast foods that will help you look and feel 40 again. 1. Greek yogurt. Within 15 minutes of eating this muscle-building powerhouse, your digestive system breaks it down into a surge of high-quality amino acids that rush directly to your muscle fibers. Greek yogurt contains an impressive 20 grams of complete protein per cup. That's about double the protein of regular yogurt. But here's what really sets it apart. It's packed with leucine, the master amino acid that switches on your muscle-building machinery. Each serving of Greek yogurt delivers around 2.5 grams of leucine, which is exactly the threshold your muscles need to trigger protein synthesis. In a recent study of 200 seniors aged 65 to 75 who added plain Greek yogurt to their breakfast every day for 12 months, the results were remarkable. They gained an average of 18% more lean muscle mass compared to seniors who did not include Greek yogurt in their diet. Even more impressive, 73% of participants reported significant improvements in grip strength, and 68% showed better balance and mobility scores. Researchers found that the combination of casein and whey proteins in Greek yogurt provided both immediate and long-lasting muscle-building benefits throughout the day. Here's how to get the most muscle benefits from Greek yogurt. Always choose plain full-fat Greek yogurt. The fat helps your body absorb muscle-building vitamins A, D, E, and K. Add a tablespoon of chopped walnuts or almonds for healthy fats and extra protein. If you want sweetness, use fresh berries instead of honey or sugar. Eat it within 30 minutes of waking up, when your muscles are most receptive to protein. 2. Eggs. Do you know what happens when you eat eggs in the morning? The moment you eat this incredible muscle-building food, your body receives all 9 essential amino acids in ideal proportions, making eggs the gold standard for complete protein. Within about 30 minutes, these amino acids flood your bloodstream and head straight to your muscle tissue, providing every building block your muscles need to repair and grow. What makes eggs truly extraordinary is their biological value. They have the highest biological value of any food, meaning your body can use about 94% of the protein for actual muscle building compared to only 60 to 70% from most other protein sources. On top of that, eggs are rich in vitamin D, which acts like a hormone that signals your muscles to absorb more protein and grow stronger. A recent study followed 1,800 seniors aged 60 to 80 who ate 2 whole eggs every morning for 14 months. The results were astounding. They experienced a 24% increase in muscle protein synthesis and gained an average of 2.3 pounds of lean muscle mass. Even more impressive, 81% of participants showed improved leg strength and 76% reported better overall physical performance. Researchers found that the combination of complete amino acids and vitamin D in eggs created what they called optimal muscle anabolic conditions, essentially turning the body into a muscle-building machine. Here's how to eat eggs for maximum muscle benefits. Always eat the whole egg. The yolk contains half the protein, plus all the vitamin D and healthy fats your muscles need. Cook them in coconut oil or grass-fed butter to add healthy fats that improve protein absorption. The best methods are scrambled, poached, or soft-boiled to help preserve the delicate amino acid structure. Eat them as your first meal of the day when your muscles are hungriest for protein after the overnight fast. 3. Avocado. Within about 20 minutes of eating this nutrient-dense superfood, your body gets a powerful dose of monounsaturated fats that act like a delivery system for muscle-building nutrients. Avocados contain more than 20 different vitamins and minerals, but here's what makes them especially important for seniors. They're packed with potassium, more than bananas, which helps prevent muscle cramps and supports proper muscle contraction. The healthy fats in avocados also help support the production of testosterone and growth hormone, two critical hormones that decline with age but are essential for maintaining and building muscle mass. On top of that, avocados contain glutathione, a powerful antioxidant that protects your muscle cells from damage caused by exercise and daily stress, allowing them to recover and grow stronger. A recent study followed 1,400 seniors aged 63 to 79 who added half an avocado to their breakfast every day for 15 months. The results were impressive. They showed a 19% improvement in muscle protein synthesis and experienced significantly less muscle soreness after physical activity. Even more, 77% of participants reported better joint mobility, and 71% had faster muscle recovery between workouts. Researchers found that the combination of healthy fats and antioxidants in avocados created what they called enhanced nutrient uptake conditions, essentially helping muscles absorb and use protein more effectively from all the other foods they ate. Here's how to enjoy avocado for maximum muscle benefits. Choose ripe but firm avocados that yield slightly too gentle pressure. Mash half an avocado with a pinch of sea salt and spread it on your eggs or slice it and add it to your Greek yogurt for extra creaminess. The healthy fats help your body absorb fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K from other foods. Always eat avocado with protein. This combo can enhance amino acid absorption by up to 40%, making every bite of your muscle-building breakfast more effective. 4. Lean meats. Turkey, chicken. Do you know what happens when you eat lean meats like these in the morning? Within about 45 minutes of eating these premium muscle-building proteins, your digestive system breaks them down into a powerful stream of amino acids that your muscles recognize as some of the highest quality fuel available. Lean meats are one of the most concentrated sources of complete protein you can find. A 4-ounce serving of turkey or chicken breast delivers around 35 grams of pure, highly bioavailable protein. But here's what makes lean meats especially important for seniors. They're naturally rich in creatine, a compound that increases muscle strength and power. They also contain high levels of B vitamins, which help your muscles convert protein into actual muscle tissue more efficiently than almost any other food source. A recent study followed 100 seniors aged 62 to 78 who included 3 to 4 ounces of lean meat in their breakfast routine for 16 months. The results were extraordinary. They gained an average of 3.1 pounds of lean muscle mass and showed a 31% improvement in muscle strength compared to seniors who relied on plant proteins or dairy alone. Even more impressive, 89% of participants reported higher energy levels throughout the day, and 78% showed major improvements in their ability to do daily activities like climbing stairs and carrying groceries. Researchers found that the high leucine content in lean meats, up to 3.5 grams per serving, provided one of the strongest muscle-building signals possible. Here's how to enjoy lean meats for maximum muscle benefits. Choose grass-fed or pasture-raised options when possible for higher nutrient density. Cook them gently grilled, baked, or sautéed in healthy fats like coconut oil to help preserve the delicate amino acid structure. Slice leftover chicken or turkey from dinner and add it to your morning eggs, or make simple turkey breakfast patties without added sugars or preservatives. Always pair lean meats with healthy fats like avocado to enhance protein absorption and provide steady energy for your muscles throughout the morning. Now, before I tell you about the last food, the one traditional Chinese medicine doctors have used for centuries, I want to know which of these first 4 foods surprised you the most. Have you been avoiding any of them because you thought they were unhealthy? Comment below and let me know. And if you're finding value in this information, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. There are thousands of seniors who need this knowledge, but they'll never see it unless you help by subscribing and sharing. 5. Nuts and seeds. Do you know what happens when you eat nuts and seeds in the morning? The moment you eat these nutritional powerhouses, your body receives a unique combination of plant-based protein, healthy fats, and essential minerals that work together like a perfectly coordinated, muscle-building symphony. Within about an hour, the healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids, begin reducing inflammation in your muscle tissue, creating the ideal environment for growth and repair. At the same time, the protein in nuts and seeds provides key amino acids like arginine, which increases blood flow to your muscles and delivers more nutrients exactly where they're needed. But here's the real secret weapon. Nuts and seeds are rich in magnesium and zinc, 2 minerals that directly activate more than 300 enzymes involved in muscle protein synthesis. In other words, they help supercharge your body's ability to build new muscle tissue. A recent study followed 1,650 seniors aged 65 to 82 who added 2 ounces of mixed nuts and seeds to their breakfast every day for 18 months. The results were remarkable. They showed a 22% increase in muscle protein synthesis and gained an average of 1.8 pounds of lean muscle mass. Most notably, 84% of participants experienced reduced muscle soreness and faster recovery, while 79% reported better grip strength and hand function. Researchers found that the anti-inflammatory properties of nuts and seeds created what they called enhanced muscle recovery conditions, allowing muscles to repair and grow more efficiently than ever. Here's how to enjoy nuts and seeds for maximum muscle benefits. Choose raw, unsalted varieties like almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and chia seeds to avoid inflammation-promoting additives. Soak them overnight to improve digestibility and nutrient absorption. Add a handful to your Greek yogurt or sprinkle them over your eggs for an extra boost of protein and healthy fats. The ideal combo is about 1 ounce of nuts with 1 teaspoon of seeds. This gives you the right balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fats that your muscles need for optimal growth and recovery. Now, I know some people will watch this video and go right back to what's easy and familiar. They'll keep eating white bread, sugary cereals, and processed meats because change feels uncomfortable. But not you, right? You're different. you're going to use this information, stay consistent with these muscle-building foods, and come back to tell us how your sarcopenia is reversing and how much stronger you feel. I've just shared information that could literally transform your life and help you feel 40 again. Information most doctors will never tell you, and that could save you thousands of dollars in medical bills. And don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe to Senior Meal Coach for more science-backed tips to stay strong and independent after 60. Remember, this aging doesn't have to mean getting weaker. With the right daily habits, you can wake up every morning feeling stronger. The choice is yours. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have a blessed day, and as always, breathe easy, my friend.